Hey everyone, it's me, Kessler. How you doing? And I'm doing something very different on here. Instead of just a straight Twitch VOD upload, I am doing a deck profile for OPO6 on Hody Jones, the most underrated leader in the set. Now, what does he do? By resting this leader, I can rest one of my opponent's 3 cost or less characters, or one of their dominant. And then for the rest of this turn, I do not take life cards through my effects. Now, this effect, when paired up and compared to some like, say, Yamato, Reiju, Gekkomoria, Perona, this effect's kind of just mid. But it does require you to play the game just a bit different. You know, some like how Iceberg, Vivi, and Rebecca require you to do. And soon at OPO 7, Vegapunk. But this leader allows you to be just a little bit aggressive in early game. But at the end of the day, it's mostly a grind deck. And so this list here that you see here, it's going to be my list come the actual set. And it's been working out very, very well for me. And well, with Hody type effects, we'll get more into them as we go on. So start off, 2K counters, 2 Ezo. You don't typically play him, but if you do, it's maybe you want to rest a annoying blocker like a Borsalino or a Law or anything like that. But he's just mostly there to be a 2K counter. And then the best combo maker in the deck. 5-drop Trafalgar Law. Blocker Law. And the way I'd say he's the best combo player in the deck. Because of the fact that you room shambles out a guy. So let's say you have Kami out. You use up Kami's effect, and you have enough Dawn to play some like a Law. You play off Law, bounce the Kami back to hand, and then if you want to go aggressive, instead of for next turn, you drop down the Daruma, or the Dosen. Or if you really want to get rid of something, you play the Vanderdecken. Or you play Mihawk. And we'll go over Mihawk, because he's also one of the best combo pieces in your deck. But we'll get to him. We will get to him. Oh my god. I love this card. And then nextly we got 3 Arlong. This card is crazy. On play, you discard a card from your hand, and you just say to one of your opponent's first leaders, you are not attacking on your turn. No. Stop it. Get some help. You are not doing that. Fucking human. This card's just crazy, man. And because it's a 4 cost with a trigger, and in East Blue, you can play him in Arlong. And also because of the East Blue typing, you can play him in Kuro. This card's just fucking insane. And I laughed when this card was revealed, and I laugh every time I play him and am able to pull him off. Oh, I love this card. But because it's a no counter, we're only playing 3. And 3, in my opinion, is probably the best ratio you could do. Some people will play 4, and that's fine. But for me, 3 is just right. And then the first batch of new Fishman pirate support for specifically Hody. Ikaros. Ikaros is your field swarmer. His effect is, on play, if my leader type is new Fishman pirates, I play 1 4 costs or lower FISHMAN character from my hand. And then, and this is where the life part comes in, I add the top card of my life to my hand. That, when this card was revealed, this was actually the first new FISHMAN pirate character that was revealed. And then when it said you add the top card of your life to your hand, it clicked in my hand. I'm like, oh, so this is what Hody's meant to do. But he's just a swarmer, that's his role. You're typically going to be playing the Daruma, Hyozu, Dosun, or because it just says FISHMAN character, you can play the Arlong off this, and then proc off Arlong's effect, assuming your opponent's leader is rested. This card is fucking crazy just because of the fact it is a field swarmer. And because of that, it is a 4 of. And also 5 for 6, that's good stats. And it's a 1k counter, pretty damn good. The nextly, you got Kami. She's the pudding of the deck. You look at the top 4 cards of your deck, you reveal a FISHMAN or Merfolk other than Kami, and then place the rest on the bottom of your deck. Typical archetype searcher. And the nextly, we got Zeo. Zeo is a 2k counter. That's his only goal. But what he does is, for 1 Dawn, when he attacks, if my leader is the new FISHMAN Pirates type, I get to reset one of my Dawn as active, and this character gets 1k. And then add the top card of your life to your hand. I mean, he becomes a 5k, and he does give you more Dawn to be able to use effects with. But he's just there as a 2k. If you want to be cheeky and funny, you can play Zeo off of some like Ikaros or Law, but don't. Why would you do that? Why? Just use him as a 2k. And because of the 2k, he is a 4. And then nextly, we got an absolutely fucking crazy card. One of the best cards in the deck, Daruma. And for 1 Dawn, when he's attacking once per turn, if I have the new FISHMAN Pirates type leader, I can set this character as active and give it an additional 1k. He becomes a 6k double attacker. When this card was revealed, there were some people, I know some of my friends, were like, this card's ass, bro, this card's ass, this card's ass, this card's ass. And it's like, no, he's a 6k that can attack twice. He's crazy. And simply because of that, he's a 3 of. But only because, well, yeah, he does restand and he does get the 1k power. But 3, just like with Arlong, and with Law, only because I got 3 Law, I don't have 4 Laws. But if I have 4 Law, I'd probably play 4 Law. But anyway, just like with Arlong and Law, 3 is probably the sweet spot. Just the right amount. Not too many, not too little. Just perfect. And then nextly we got the fucking goat of the deck, Dosun. His effect is that when he attacks, if my leader has the new FISHMAN Pirates type, this character cannot be KO'd in battle and it gets 2k. You don't need a Dawn for this, by the way. You can just attack, he becomes 6k, and he cannot be KO'd in battle. He is unkillable by battle. And that's just crazy. And you know what the best part about this is? People never read the can't be KO'd in battle part. And they will just go straight for him. They will just go straight for him. It's the funniest thing ever. They get confused, and I have to say, he cannot be KO'd in battle off of his effect. And they're just like, well, fuck. Like, yeah, that's insane. And he's a definite 4 of. You will not be playing this deck without 4 Dosen. And he's a common! I figured he'd be at the very least a rare. Or an uncommon. But no, he's a common. For a common card, this effect is insane. You'll play 4 of. Then nextly we got Hammond. It's just a chump blocker. That's it. I was playing 8-Drop Kid, but then I saw 8-Drop Kid went up in price greatly. So I'm like, you know, why don't I just play Hammond? And so I can have another search target for Kami. But if you want to play this a little bit more competitively, you play the 8-Drop Kid. 8-Drop Kid can drop down your Dosens, your Darumas, your Vanderdekens, your Mihawks. Like, Kid just does a lot more for this deck. But because, like I said, price, Hammond is only in here just because of that. And then nextly we got Vanderdeken. Now Vanderdeken, his effect is, on play, I trash a Fishman type card from my hand, or trash a Noah's Ark from my hand or field. And I get to KO a rested character my opponent controls. It doesn't matter what the size is. It doesn't matter at all. It's not a you KO a 4 cost or lower, or 3 cost or lower, or 5 cost or lower. No. It's just kill the card. And that's just insane. That's just cracked. And the fact that you have to discard a Fishman type or a Noah's Ark is just really good balancing. And well, he can be played off of Law. And when he comes down and you're able to perform that effect, it's beautiful. But just so I could dart with Daruma, 3 is just the perfect sweet spot for me. I was playing 4, but he can be a bit cloggy. He could be a bit of a brick and a clog. Yeah, he has a 1k counter, but that doesn't matter a lot of times. Because in the early game, if you're opening with like 2 or 3 of them, when you play the 4, it's just not a good feeling. In fact, it's still not a good feeling when I open up with this guy. And I have to go first because my opponent's not going to have something rested. I'm like, oh, joy. But if you want to play 4, I mean, it's not terrible. And then nextly we got 3 Hyozu. His effect is that activate a main once per turn. I rest up to one of my opponent's 4 cost or less characters. And it gets 1k. He becomes a 7k. And he can hit pretty hard. He can hit pretty damn hard. And when I saw this card, or when the Fishman pirate stuff were being revealed, this guy was always living rent-free in my head. Because I figured they would give him some like a double attack or a rush. Because in the show he's always drunk. He's always drinking. So at the very least I expected him to get a double attack. I was a bit disappointed, but at least they kind of made up for it by giving him 6k. So they kind of made up on it. And well, he can't be searched out with Gamey since he is a merfolk. Since he certainly is a merfolk. Like, he's a merfolk? I always thought he was a fishman. Could I be shocked? But because of the fact he has no counter, makes me just play him at 3. I've seen some lists play him at 4. And just thinking about it, I'm like, no, that's too much. That's too much. So 3, I believe 3 is the mandatory number you need to have. And then next we got probably the best card on the whole deck. 7-drop Hody Jones. The very first green card with Rush. And his effect is that on play, I can rest up to a total of 2 of my opponent's characters or Dawn. This card is the boss monster of the deck. That effect, though, is insane. I can rest 2 of pretty much anything. And he's just smirking. Look at Hody. He's just smirking. He knows. He knows he's gonna be played in every green deck. He knows he's just that guy. He just knows he's just that dude. That's why he's smirking. Look, him and his leader are both smirking because they know he's just that guy. Once you reach 7 Dawn. It's just insane. This card's fucking insane. I was playing 4, but 3 is, well, I'll say it again, the sweet spot. And also because I'm trying to lower as many no counters as possible. Because I'm already playing just a total of 3, 6, 9. That's 9 0 counters. It's just gotta lower that as much as possible. Especially when decks like Moria exist and just super fucking fast. But anyway, now we go on to the Goathawk. Dracul Goathawk. Releasing in the Zoro and Sanji starter deck. This, just like with Law, is your other combo starter. Remember I was talking about with Law? Well, Law says, for those who don't know what he does, on play, you return one of your characters to your hand. So let's say you use Vanderdeck's effect already. You drop down Law. You return that Vanderdeck into hand, or Kami, or an Izo, if you want to have a 2k counter in your hand. When you do all that, you play up to 1 character with a cost of 3 or less from my hand. What you play is Mihawk. And Mihawk's effect is that, on play, if I have 2 or less characters, I play up to 1 4 cost or lower Shigeru Kingdom or / trade character card other than Mihawk from my hand is rested. Now, how is that making Mihawk a combo enabler? I need to have 2 or less characters? And it comes out as rested? What? Well, my dear friend. We can play down Daruma? You can play down Hyozu? And yeah, that's pretty much it. 2 of your best cards in your deck. Especially the Daruma. Or, if you want to try to gain an extra turn, Arlong. Since it's a 4 cost / trade character. Whoa, that's crazy. This is a mandatory 4 of. Just because of that. just because you got 9 targets in this whole deck. I would say more, but Ikaros is a 5 cost. And sadly, you're a strike type. You are not the slash type, Dosun. Shake my head. But you got 9 targets in this whole fucking deck. Oh, wait. No, you're a wisdom, thank God. You play 4 of it. Also because he's a 2k counter. And so that's it for characters. Now we move on to events. And we start off with Spider's Web. It's just a 9k, it's just a plus 4k restand a character. So let's say you block with Law and they live, and your opponent tries attacking your Hody. And you have the Dawn available. Just do this, restand the Law, or restand Daruma or Hyozu. You know, you got things you could do. Or let's say you played Arlong off of Goathawk. You could restand the Arlong. There are different applications you could do with this card. And then nextly you got whoever wins this war becomes justice. It's just a good additional 3k. It's been working out well for me. You know, it could be something else, but I like this card. I like it. Because sometimes I will have no Dawn, but it's like, I need that little extra push. And this card, well, there it is. And also its trigger effect is not bad. Resting at 4 costs or less. Pretty good. Pretty good. I think I got probably the most bonkers card in this entire deck. We got the Noah's Ark. On play, for 6 Dawn, you rest all of your opponent's characters. So if you're fighting, say, yellow, and like you're fighting some like Enel, and they have this whole fucking field set up, and you know you can go for game, but say they got some blockers, like, what are some blockers that they play? Sanji, if they play it? I think they might play it. I don't know. Just any random ass blockers they have. You can rest that. Or if you know you can survive your opponent's next turn, and say they have Ohm out, just you can attack the Ohm because it's all rested. It's only for that turn that they're all rested. It ain't like your goddamn birdcage or anything, but just as a good trigger off of life card, this is really good. And I've actually been debating whether I want to play 3 of it or not. Because there's sometimes I want to see it in life, but at other times I don't want to see it in hand, so it just all depends on preference. I saw someone playing 4 of it in their list. I'm just like, you're a better person than I am. But anyway, that's really all I have here. I hope I gave you just a little bit of more thought into deciding whether you want to play this deck, or what leader you want to pick up for OPL 6. Because this leader is going to be the cheap budget deck, since no one's going to really pay attention to this. But it's just a sleeping ticking time bomb of potential. It's just like with Red Eyes. It has potential. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. I hope you all have a wonderful time, and I'll see you another time. Have a pleasant one. And also, Fishman meta.